Hi, Sky here, just checking in. Today I'm going to discuss a topic two topics in one here. So the first thing I want to address is that there has been some media attention on endometriosis, which is awesome news. So yay for that. However, there's been a lot of misinformation presented to the media. Now, the problem with that is that we're only just starting to get a voice, and unfortunately, the full facts have not been pushed through onto the media front, and so we're kind of looking like we only suffer endometriosis on menstruation, so once a month, and then the rest of the days we're fine. Now, if that is you, I think that is awesome. I really wish that my endometriosis did that, but it doesn't, and it didn't. And this is the case for thousands of women, and this is my problem, is that wrong information is being delivered here. So I watched a video the other day of a lady who got interviewed about her endometriosis, and I'm not exactly sure how long she said she was dealing with endo. But she did say that she fell pregnant, had a baby, and then she never had any symptoms again. And this is the problem, is that women are getting pushed and pushed and pushed into pregnancy when they're not even capable of looking after themselves because of this pain. So my problem is with this lady's story is that it's not everybody else's truth. And this is what we need to bring to the media attention, is that endometriosis does not care if you are a full-time working person or a celebrity or anything like that, because this disease process does not act traditionally, and I've said this before. So there are thousands of women, including myself up until recently to my surgery, who live with endometriosis every single day. Every single day. There's never been a break. So there's days where you're just time and time again, you're being beaten down by this disease. And this is not being brought to the media. So what's happening with women is that they're not being heard, they're not being understood, and they're being labelled as though they have mental health issues, which living with anxiety and depression or PTSD, it's not uncommon to hear. So what happens is that your body is just affected by endometriosis. It attacks your body like a cancer. Although it's not a cancer, it's a benign growth. This disease physically will take everything from you. It can take your work, it can take your friends, it can take missing important dates. It can take so many things from you, and this is not being heard. And so I know for myself that I suffered really badly with anxiety and depression because I was unable to control my body. I was unable to predict whether I will have a good day or not. And there are days when you have pain-free days, and they are a blessing, but they're not very often. And I'm hearing stories of women going to the emergency department and being kicked out and being escorted out by security because their body they have no control over this pain anymore, and their mind has been pushed to the point where it can no longer work properly either, so they stop communicating to each other. Now that is a horrible place to be. It's a very dark, lonely place, and it's scary, and you never know what is going to happen with it, or how this is going to change, or is it ever going to end. So I've been hearing from a lot of young, courageous women that are battling this disease, and they are doing everything in their power to be able to live somewhat of a normal life. Now, most most times I can say for myself that my disease was so bad that I couldn't continue my nursing job. Now that broke my heart because I loved being a nurse, and when I got to the point where my body could physically not stand up properly, I couldn't walk, and being presented to the emergency department time and time again, that your mind just goes, I've had enough. So this is what I want to talk about by saying that today is the actual Are You Okay Day. And I know that I've spoken to a lot of women and they're not okay. And this makes me really sad. And it makes me hurt to know that these women are going to hospital and they're being physically kicked out of hospital or escorted by security, and they're not being heard and they're not being treated. And this breaks my heart. I'm really sorry, but it does, because I've been there and I know. And I just want to say to all you women who are going through this battle is that you're not alone. I believe you, and I will always be a voice for you. And I'm sorry that I'm a bit emotional about this. It's just because I'm really passionate about this, because I'm really passionate about making everyone understand that what we go through is a real struggle, and it's a horrible struggle, and it hurts. And when you start being treated like you have this out of control mental illness, you begin to know that you're lost. You become very lost and you forget who you are. And I know that there's women out there that are feeling this way at the moment, and I can tell you that I have so much love and respect for you. I think any woman who is dealing with and living with endometriosis, I think you're an incredible person, and I take my hat off to you. And I know that you're being beaten down, and I'm sorry about that. And I promise that I'll always be your voice. And I'm sorry I'm a bit emotional about this. It's because the media is giving misinformation, and it has to stop. We need to get the truth out there, and I promise that I will keep fighting for you. If you ever want to contact me, you can send me a message through my page. It's Endo Strength on Facebook, and it's also the same on YouTube. I will always get back to you. I will always believe you, and I will always believe in you. Now, this disease has a pretty high suicide rate that this doesn't even get spoken of. There are so many women out there who have just gotten to the point where there's no return, and they feel that killing themselves is the best option. And there is so much more attention and training that needs to be delivered in the emergency departments. Doctors need to be trained properly on how to treat endometriosis. It needs to start happening. You can't keep going to hospital and being turned away time and time again. So I'm going to kind of leave that there. I will be continuing on with other stories later on down the track, like my next story. I want to coincide it and team it up. So I want you to know that I love you all, and I'm always thinking of you, and I'm always thinking of ways to help you. So take care, and drop me a line, and please remember to share the video so we can get our voice out there. Okay, take care.